I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour,
Mittagong.
Lullaby, Nambour, Rochester, Kilmore,
Mittagong.
Burnsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara,
Mittagong.
Strathround,
Mittagong.
Alladala, Darwin, Gingin, Lillaquen, Muckilla,
Mittagong.
Wallagilla, Buggerville, Cumberland, I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man.
He's got to have
I've been
said. He's
everywhere,
got to have said
man.
Mittagong
Across
somewhere in that
deserts
song, I
bare,
reckon.
thought.
Hey, we are going to Mittagong, surprisingly, and we are going to talk to Karen Murray. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning.
Thank you for being part of this circus that we do on a Saturday morning. Now, we always start this conversation with the hard question. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Where's Mittagong?
We're in a really ideal location, actually. We're in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, so we're about 2 hours from Sydney, 2 hours from Canberra, and about 50 minutes from the beach.
Oh, what?
That's perfection.
It is, the Gong. It's a nice part of the world. A lot of people would also know of Bowral. That's not far away, and Moss Vale.
That's right. We've got Bowral, about a 10-minute drive, which is known for the home of Bradman. We've got Robertson with the Big Potato, and we've also got historical Berrima.
And, of course, for those devotees of truck stops, there is, of course, the Morawallan truck stop.
Yes, a highlight.
Isn't it, though? I used to work for an organisation that had a lot to do with that particular site, so we all used to stop at Morawallan on the way through. What do people around Mittagong do? Because being that close to Sydney, I guess there's a fair bit of interaction with the southern suburbs of Sydney.
There is, yeah. A lot of people live here that travel into Sydney for work. Locally, we have a lot of tourism and cafe workers and restaurant workers, and it's a retirement area, so there's a lot of aged care workers and nurses. But it's also an easy drive to Sydney, really, for anybody that wants something a bit more, in the city.
And what do the farmers do there? Do they grow beef, wool?
Do grow beef.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a beef area.
It is, and we're lucky, even though the area is growing, we can just, a minute down the road and we've got all the farmland around us again. So we're lucky on both sides, really.
It's actually pretty. I probably have been to Mittagong because I went to Bowral because I'm a cricket nut, so I had to do the Bradman thing when I was up there. It is a beautiful part of the world. It's lovely, those rolling hills, and you can tell you get lots of rain. It's green and lush, and it just looks like a pretty place to be.
It's very pretty. We've got the 4 seasons as well, so they're really distinct seasons now. And that's what a lot of people say that they like about this area, that we've got the 4 distinct seasons. But the last few years we've certainly had our fair share of rain, and the area is looking fabulously green, which is really great because a few years ago we had the bushfires, as a lot of people did, and everything was brown and burnt. So it's really nice to see everything green at the moment.
And does it get very cold? I suppose frosts tend to be a part of that world as well.
Oh, they most definitely are. I think the good thing about a frosty morning is that it usually means we'll get a sunny day. But just in the last week we've had a run of really nice sunny days, but heavy frosts of a morning. And we do tend to get a lot of the chilly winds off the snowies.
Oh, yeah.
So are you a native Mittagongian, or did you find yourself moving there at some stage in your life?
I moved here when I was 2, so I've been...
Oh, that's pretty close. In another 15 years, you'll be a local.
Oh, no. I've been here 45 years. I'm not sure when that makes me a local. Probably, another 15 years or so.
Yeah. And so it wasn't a decision you made. I was going to say, because I would have thought there'd be a lot of people who, through COVID, would have moved down in that part of the world, might as well, don't have to go to work in the office every day.
Yeah, that's right. I think we saw a really big boom in the population here over COVID. Certainly the area is growing very quickly.
And does that annoy the locals, or is that something that they're embracing warmly because it brings a few extra families to town?
I think there's half, really. I loved the way Mittagong was in my childhood, very quiet, and the highway went. The bypass was put in and it went around Mittagong, so it did tend to lose a lot of business, but people are starting to come through again now.
Because my recollection was you used to go, what is now the turn-off at Mossvale, that was kind of where the road kicked off and became the bypass and came on the other side of Mittagong. Does that sound fair?
That's right, yes. So they bypassed Mittagong completely.
Yeah, I had a most bizarre experience going through or near Mittagong. I was in Sydney when COVID was on and I was in all lockdown, and of course Victoria was in lockdown. My mother passed away and I had to come back to Melbourne via car, and I drove from the southern suburbs of Sydney well down past Gundagai before I saw a car coming the other way. It was spooky because it was that time of the year where it was cold in the morning, it was dark and foggy. It was the most weird kind of feeling going through that neck of the woods.
Oh, it would have been, yes.
Because that highway does take a few cars, Rob. It's called the Hume. Have you come across that one?
I have. I've driven on that a couple of times, actually.
Yeah.
The fabric of the town, Karen, sport has play a big part in what's going on, or have you got the cultural diverse issues that create the fabric of the town?
Sport is quite popular, actually. We've got quite a few hockey teams and soccer teams. There's cricket, football, and we've even been introduced in the last year to pickleball.
Now, that is something that's taking over the United States. You come across pickleball, Rod?
I've had a bit of a look. It didn't really excite me, but I need to look a bit harder.
Yeah, you get a bat, and each of you has a pickled onion, and you hit it at the other guy.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, and now you slipped in the word football in there, which, given that you are in the Southern Highlands, could mean one of 4 different varieties. Which particular variety is most common in Mittagong?
Rugby league.
Yeah, that was the one I was backing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is AFL starting.
Excuse me. Australian rules football, Karen. That's what you play up there. AFL's played in Sydney by 2 teams. You play Australian rules football. Please don't get the 2 mixed up.
I should have warned you.
You can tell I'm a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cricket is still quite popular, which is really good to see because I'm a cricket fan.
Yeah.
Really, don't I?
I'm with you. Well, you sort of do in that neck of the woods. The reason I asked that question was going back to the people that have come in. We've had some little towns around the edge of Geelong, enriched by people coming to have a change of life, but absorbing themselves into the fabric of the town and not wishing to change it. And we've seen others that the whole town's changed completely because the new people come in and want to turn it into where they came from. Is Mittagong sort of on a balance there, or have you retained all the things that you liked about the cultural part of the town?
Good question. We actually have been able to retain the historical buildings in Mittagong and surrounding streets. There's some beautiful old stone houses. Although we do have the marketplace now, which has your usual Big W and Millers and things like that. That's kind of away from the centre of town. So we've been able to move with the times without really losing that historical appeal.
Excellent.
Yeah, but they don't have Chadwicks anymore.
No, they don't. I'm sorry.
What the hell's that?
That was the old BP distributor back in the day. Rob Chadwicks, they used to do it. And that's when I used to spend a bit of time in Mittagong when I used to go and work with them.
Chadwick's BP.
That's it.
Yeah.
On the highway, going out towards Sydney. Karen, thank you for taking us on a trip to the Southern Highlands this morning. We are very pleased to have made your acquaintance, and next time we're in Mittagong, we will be looking you up. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to catch up for a coffee.
Yeah, we'll find you somehow. I'll go to the Bradman Museum, have a look at the beautiful barrel over, and I'll sneak down to Mittagong for a coffee.
And we'll just say, anyone know Karen Murray? And they'll go, yeah.
They'll find her.
Kazza? Yeah, we know her.
Are you that famous now, Karen?
Oh, she will be now.
Oh, absolutely.
Karen, thank you for being part of Regional Roundup, and we will talk again somewhere down the track, we hope.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks, Karen.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
Karen Murray there in Mittagong